So, how would you like to save at least $750 off your next vacation? If you're like me and you like to travel, one of the best ways to save money is through strategic credit card sign up bonuses. And you have to plan ahead to do this. So, this video is going to talk about my most recent credit card sign up bonus that I've gotten. I actually doubled it because my wife got it first and then she referred me. She got a little bit of an additional bonus by referring me. Anyway, that card is the Capital One Venture card, and I'm going to review it here and tell you how it might benefit you. So if that sounds like something that might benefit you and something that you're interested in, be sure to stay tuned. All right, so here we are on the Capital One Venture Card's homepage. And the first thing you'll want to do before you actually apply for the card is to click on this green, see if I'm approved link here. You'll fill out some questions, give your name, your date of birth, social security number, income, and stuff like that. And they'll be able to let you know whether or not you are actually approved for the card before you send in the application. If you send in the application and you're denied, that can be a ding to your credit score. They won't do an inquiry unless you're actually approved and you decide to go through with the actual application. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Now, there are 75,000 bonus miles. Each of those miles is not a mile usually, unless you decide to transfer it to one of the partners, which I'll talk about here in a moment. And basically, each of those miles is a penny. And you can then use those miles to offset travel costs. And these are purchases that you make that are coded as travel by the merchant. So effectively, your bonus is going to be $750. You'll also earn 2 times the miles for every dollar you spend. So that is effectively 2% cash back off of travel expenses. It's worth it for the bonus for everyday spend. It's a decent option as well. So you get the bonus after spending $4,000 on purchases within the first 3 months the account is open. So that will give you 1,000 more points at least. So your bonus is going to be 75,000 miles. You will, if you use the Capital One travel portal, get 5 points per dollar. So if you book a hotel or a flight through that, actually it's a hotel or rental car, not flights, you will get five times the points. So you can increase your earnings that way. The card does come with a $95 annual fee. This is not one that you can try out for a little bit and then see if you like it and cancel before the annual fee hits. It will hit the first billing cycle. So that's something to keep in mind because it will offset the amount of money you're getting for the bonus. If you spend right at $4,000, you would get 83,000 points or $830 worth of value minus the 95, which means you're right around $735 that you're going to get. Don't worry about the interest rate because you're going to pay off your credit card every single month and avoid interest charges. If you're not going to do that, do not apply for this credit card or, for that matter, any credit card. Anyway, there are other bonuses and benefits that you can get from holding this card. When you get the Venture card, you will get 2 free lounge passes for the year, and I think that's just for the card holder. And if you fly out of a really small airport, I've flown out of Grand Forks, North Dakota, I've flown out of Hays, Kansas. There aren't lounges there, but if you are in one of the mid-sized or large cities, or if you're getting a connecting flight from Grand Forks, North Dakota, or Hays, Kansas, to, say, Chicago or Minneapolis, there are liable to be some lounges in those airports that you can visit before you go across the pond or across the country or where have you. Now, those lounges usually come with more comfortable chairs than you're going to see near the boarding areas. They're also going to come with free food and drinks. So that's something to keep in mind. You will get global entry or a TSA pre-check credit. Usually these are around the amount that you're going to actually have to pay for the benefit of getting through security a little bit more quickly. You'll get the Capital One travel portal. You'll get access to that so that you can get their rates and also earn bonus points or miles through that. So those are some of the bigger benefits. If we scroll down a little bit more, they have this little slider that you can see how much you actually put on a credit card every month. So you can figure that out if it's like, $1,000 or $2,000 or $5,000, and see how many miles that you'll get. And that's basically what you'll get off of your travel. So if you're on the higher end of that and you spend 5,000 miles per month, you get 120,000 or $1,200 off of your travel spending for the year. At least if you're down around, the $1,000 spending level, you're going to get 24,000 miles per year, $240 off. So it could benefit you, to offset the annual fee. There are other benefits. A couple I want to point out to you are going to be right here, no foreign transaction fee. So that's a benefit that you can get. When I was in the UK and Ireland over the last few weeks, both myself and my wife, whenever we were buying something, we would use our Capital One card, no foreign transaction fees. Now, you will get dinged a little bit by the actual currency conversion. So your dollar is not worth as much as a euro or a British pound. So that's just the way it goes. Your dollar is worth more, on the other hand, than a Mexican peso or many other currencies. So it just depends on where you're going, and you do have to pay in the local currency, and that may wind up costing more or less than it does at home. This is another that I find interesting, and this is relatively new. Capital One has recently made it so that you can actually transfer your miles into loyalty programs. And usually this is going to be 1-for-1. So one Capital One mile equals one Air France KLM mile or British Airways mile. So you may find that you can get better value out of transferring to airline partners. This is especially going to be the case if you are looking to fly in business or first class, because you can offset that cost by the frequent flyer miles, and you can sit in the front of the plane and get better food and drinks and a lie flat seat in many cases. So if you're flying, across the pond or to Asia, that can be really good. A couple of good transfer partners, if you can actually find Award Space, Emirates, and Etihad, any of those Middle Eastern carriers, also Singapore out of Asia. Those are great options. From what I've read, they have phenomenal business and first class options. I've never done it because I've always been flying with at least my wife and a lot of times with my kids. So it's more valuable to me to get the economy class and make the miles go further that way. There are a couple of hotel options on this. Choice and Accor. I would not recommend that in most instances unless you're just trying to top off a couple of thousand to redeem a reward. You will note that none of these are actually carriers from the United States. So no Delta, no JetBlue, no United or American, none of those. So you are using foreign carriers, but some of those are great value. So I did want to point that out. So there you have my review of the Capital One Venture Card. And this is a travel rewards card. Hopefully you found it beneficial. Now, I am going to leave a link in the description below so that you can apply for the Capital One Venture Card. If you do so, I will get up to $200 or 20,000 miles from that sign up. If you do so, I appreciate it. If you don't want to help me out and you still want the card, CapitalOne.com. You can go from there and apply for the card too. I do recommend the card if you can pay the balance off every month and avoid the interest charge. It can help you save lots of money on your trip. I mean, even if you get the $830 minus the $95 of the annual fee, that $735 could offset a lot of a $750 or $1,000 or $1,250 plane ticket to many places in Europe or the Caribbean. You might be able to get a couple of tickets to the Caribbean or Mexico. So it's worth looking into. So I hope you found this beneficial. If so, even if you don't apply for the card with my link, if you could subscribe to the channel and give us a thumbs up that you like the video. Be sure to do that, so it would help the channel out a lot. Until next time, I would encourage you to, plan your travel out and find credit cards that will benefit you and help you towards reaching your travel dreams. So have a great day.